Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem HaKadosh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, to the true leaders of Israel today. And salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, who risking their lives and their freedom to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai. And the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as we're the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Akalio, and this video is about the Mark of the Beast prophecy, which is a microchip. Alright, so this is simply another update regarding the Mark of the Beast prophecy, which is the microchip and the system that is coming in to facilitate its usage on a global and mandatory scale, because that's the prophecy. Right, in Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16, it says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name." So who is he that the scripture is referring to? The people that are currently in rulership, who are these so-called white people, who are the biblical Edomites, whose forefather is Esau. This is their kingdom. This is the blessing that was given unto Esau from our forefather Isaac, that he would have the fatness of the earth, the dew of heaven, and that he would rule by the sword. This is that moment here that we're all suffering under right now, the rulership of the Edomites, who are the wicked, all right? And it will be their ruling class, the wicked elite of Esau, Edom, all right? Because there's always order to things. Okay, so Yahweh Shemishai set up the Edomites to rule, and then Yahweh Shemishai set up specific individuals that are, the upper echelons of Esau, Edom, and those are the elite bankers. All right, the men that, work with witchcraft and sorcery, and on the left-hand side, and all types of things. All right, they're the ones that are in control and pushing this out, right? And when I say in control, I'm talking on a worldly level. Okay, Yahweh Shemishai is in full and absolute control of everything, but Yahweh Shemishai set them up to do these things. All right, so it is their rulership, and so they have their NWO, which is their New World Order at hand. Okay, and at the forefront of that is their microchip, which is the mark of the beast. And it says both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, which tells us they intend to microchip everyone. It doesn't matter who you are, your social status, or your status of quote-unquote freedom. And I say quote-unquote freedom because none of us are free, you know what I'm saying, except for, those that are in rulership. So they intend to, microchip everyone. It's going to become mandatory. And it says to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. So you have the microchip in the hand and you have the microchip in the forehead, which is the brain microchip. All right, both of these microchips are available and successfully working and ready to go. Okay, and then it says, "And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name." So unless you have this microchip, you won't be able to buy or sell, right? So you won't be able to be a part of the system, right? Whether you are someone who makes purchases or you're one of the sellers, you have to have a microchip in order to continue life as you know it. So this is where the world is heading towards. And as such, the system is coming in behind it, okay? Because the microchip technology is already out there, both in the hand and in the forehead, which is a brain microchip, and it's successful, it's up and running. But, because this thing is going to be on a global scale, mandatory worldwide, systems have to be put in place, such as the current payment system is not, relevant for what their goals are. They're moving towards the fourth industrial age, the intelligence age, or rather the fourth industrial revolution / intelligence age, which is the digital age. So everything is going digital, right? Everything is changing towards the domination of technology and artificial intelligence. So the payment system is being changed to a digital payment system, and as such you have the central bank digital currencies, which are being developed all around the world, worldwide. Okay, then you have the digital identification system, which the digital identification system is about identifying people, and then also storing all of your information on it, okay? So that it becomes something that is an all for one use. And that's what the microchip is going to be. So the digital ID system that is being implemented right now worldwide by every country, right? Because it's one agenda, it's one world agenda, okay? It is a stepping stone heading towards this mark of the beast prophecy, right? They will simply transfer the digital ID onto the microchip, and that digital ID would have already consolidated all of your information on it, and then that microchip is going to be that all for one use, that no matter where it is that you go, no matter what it is that you do, you always have to use the microchip to go about life. And then that's why they're building these smart cities and these 15-minute cities to accommodate that kind of lifestyle, where the second that you wake up, you're using your microchip maybe to open your phone, open your laptop, open the cabinets in your home, doing whatever around the house. You know what I'm saying? To when you leave the house, you probably will use the microchip to open up the car as well. You go to the grocery store, you're using the microchip. You go to the doctor, you're using the microchip. You go for government services, you're using the microchip. Every single thing you do, you're going to have to use a microchip. This is the system that's coming in, all right? And so, oh, hold on, I have to get the video. All right, so this video is the Goldex IPPO microchip implant, which was posted about 4 years ago. This is the Japanese presented the microchip, right? Because the microchip technology is out there. There are many manufacturers of it, many suppliers for both the microchip in the hand and in the forehead. All right, that brain microchip. So let's take a look at the video.
瞬間から人は手で伝えてきた。愛を語り、慈しみ、友情を示す。ものを作り、形も作り、技を生み出す。人々をつなぎ、感触を確かめる。自然を感じ、魔法も起こす。
All right, Goldex IPPO microchip implant, as you can see, right there in the hand, okay? And that's what it is. When you break down the word mark, it goes into the word charagma, which is a stamp and imprinted mark, which that is something that is put into, right? You stamp it, right? Stamp, imprint. Then when you break it down further, you get the charax, which is, it says a pale or stake, right? And so when you look at what that is, right, like a stake, it is at something with a sharp pointy end to it. And so the device, when you take a look at the microchip and how it's administered, they pierce the skin and they administer the microchip, okay? Secured by blockchain as well. That's a part of the system: blockchain technology, RFID technology, NFC technology. So let's see what she's doing. She's microchipped, of course. There it is, boom. She makes a payment for the coffee. She's using her microchip for some other something. You can see that it's showing other things to it, right? Like you can see those you see electricity, you see house with the water droplet. So that's like what water. You see that fish, you know. Here it is. You see it has all of these different things, right? That are part of it. Money used to pay for these things. So I'm guessing that's the water bill, that's the light bill, that's food. All right. I see a banana, I see a shrimp. I don't know what this thing is to the left. Maybe that's like a gas icon, you know, maybe to pay for gas, whatever it is, man. All right, everything is going to be, you know, used with the microchip being used for it. She uses it to make a payment to take the train. She goes to the doctor, she uses a microchip. Boom. Right? For medical payments as well. There it is to buy at the vending machine using the microchip. And to travel once again at the bus station. For your keys as well, to enter buildings, and then whatever this is, finances,
日常
right
も
at work, going to take the taxi, uses the microchip to make the payment. Just swipe and go, swipe and go. And it looks like their family
これ
that
から
is
は
microchip together, they
全
make
て
a
の
payment for
鍵
their
が
dinner, their meal.
あなたの手の中に
And then as you can see here, this last image right here that shows you the microchip and everything that's attached to it, right? From medical to finances to whatever that alarm is to the electric bolt, guessing electricity for travel. Once again, that same icon again, which I assume is for gas. Then you have that tooth right there, right? For dental, all right? And then you see a plate again and all these kinds of things. So it's showing you that all of these things are going to be attached to the whole system. And the microchip is going to be that all for in use. And so here it is that I've had this image up the entire time, this digital ID, okay, to show you as well that this is the same thing, right? This is the digital ID is just simply the stepping stone heading towards this microchip, okay? And so you can see with the digital ID, which has been proposed by the World Economic Forum, it is going to include, first of all, it says digital identity, people, things, entities, and devices all working together. That's what it means, right? Working together as one, okay? Because people are going to be, merging with technology by way of taking the microchip, and then they, in a way, right? I'm not saying that they are, but in a way, they are, becoming like they're merging with the system itself, because they're so, it is so integrated into their lifestyle. You see what I'm saying? If you get it, so that's why they say it's connecting people with things, to devices, and to entities. What are the entities? The buildings and such, and whatever else, and services and stuff. Okay, so then you take a look at the digital identity, and it shows you healthcare attached to it, financial services. So in this Goldex IPPO microchip implant, it showed you that your finances are going to be attached to your microchip, and then your medical is going to be attached to your microchip. All right, food and sustainability, travel and mobility. Once again, they showed you the travel in it. Travel is included in it. Humanitarian response, e-commerce, right? Online shopping and stuff like that. They're moving towards the internet requiring people to be for what? They did it in the UK recently, right? Registration of age verification and stuff like that, and they included the digital ID as a form of registration, just gradually getting people used to the situation. Okay, social platforms as well. Your digital identity is going to be tied to your social platform, right? There won't be any more anonymity on the internet very soon. And remember, it's attached to you and yourself, right? So like in America, you have a social security number. Out here in Jamaica, you have a TRN, right? So all of that is going to be attached to it. And then, of course, your biometrics. So there's no way to circumvent the system at all. Okay, social platforms, government services, telecommunications, smart cities. So the digital identity is about storing all of these things onto it, and then using it for all of these purposes. That one tool for the purpose. And so it's going to be that microchip at the end game of it all. This is what is happening. Okay, so with that explanation of it, let's just take a look at some articles. I'm not going to go into these articles, read them all, but I'm bringing them out to show the system that is coming in. Okay, now this website Biometric Update is very thorough with it. They update frequently, so frequently that you can see how quickly the system is coming in. And so I just want to bring out another precept in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and verse 3. It says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." So the vision are these prophecies, and at the end, right, the end of what? The rulership of the so-called white man. The scriptures say that Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. This is Esau's kingdom. This is that final kingdom that the vision was seen, right, from Nebuchadnezzar, and the prophet Daniel interpreted, right? This is the last this is the it, right? The feet, iron mixed with miry clay. Okay, this kingdom is coming to an end, and then after this kingdom is the kingdom of the Israelites. So at the end it shall speak. It is speaking very loudly because it's showing itself. It's showing you that the system is coming in. The microchip is already out there, both in the hand and in the forehead, right? So it's only, a matter of time before this thing pops off where it becomes mandatory worldwide. This is where it's heading towards. Okay, and not lie, do it, tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And so the word of Yahweh Shemisha is sure to happen, it is sure to occur. All right, so that is why we're seeing it, all these things happen. Now let's just take a look at some of these. Hope joins government digital ID wallet initiative as Korea targets global interoperability. So digital ID in Korea. Okay, voter cards get biometric update in Dominican Republic, Bahamas. So the voters cards get a biometric update because that is simply just a step heading towards, the consolidation of all these things. And the microchip itself, you can Google either biometric microchip or RFID microchip. The biometric microchip, as it says, is a small electronic device implanted under the skin using a syringe, right? So the microchip is the charagma, and that syringe is the carax. Okay, let me see if I can find an image of it. Well, here it is. Okay, see, that's the microchip, the charagma, and then the device used to administer the microchip, the carax. Okay, then it says, these microchips often use RFID and NFC technology, can store personal and medical information, including biometric data like fingerprints or iris scans and unique ID numbers. Okay, so it's all about storing all of that data onto one place. Okay, they are designed to be ready for external devices for identification, access control, and data retrieval. All right, so biometric microchips. So this is just a step to it, because not every country, they're all following the same path, right, to launch their digital payment system and platform, and to digitalize everything, and then the whole digital ID and stuff. But every country is moving at their own different pace. For example, Jamaica has launched the central bank digital currency and the digital ID. However, Jamaica is behind regarding the digital public infrastructure, right? So Jamaica has to accelerate that. Other countries are at varying stages of bringing in the system, but they're all moving towards it. All right, so voters cards to be updated, get biometric update, tying biometrics to the voters cards, just another step. Okay, Dominican Republic is hoping its new digital ID and voter registration cards will have global reach. All right, so next one, securing benefit programs with digital ID in Indonesia, Brazil, India. So digital ID in Indonesia, Brazil, India, just another step heading towards the system, right? Indonesia will use its digital identity system to onboard and verify beneficiaries of the state social protection program. All right, they're moving towards or rather implementing the system. UK age verification is here. Ofcom set to begin enforcing Online Safety Act. So this is what I was talking about before when I mentioned the UK. And let me see if it does mention, here it is. For users, the regulator has published a guide on what to expect, which also outlines the permitted methods for sites to check a user's age. Facial age estimation, right? Facial age estimation is biometrics. Open banking, digital ID services, including wallets. See? So the system, once again, being brought in. Then you have New Jersey gives Motor Vehicle Commission 44 months to issue MDLs. Now the MDL is a digital ID, the mobile driver's licenses. As it says, New Jersey is getting mobile driver's licenses and digital IDs for non-motorists. All right, so just take a note and watch America, because America is a little different. They're doing the same thing, but they're presenting it differently regarding bringing in the system. While it is that these other countries are blatantly saying that they're putting in their digital IDs and their central bank digital currencies, America is moving in a sneaky way by saying, oh, we're not about CBDCs being about like an anti-CBDC act, but here it is that they introduced stablecoin, which is a digital payment platform, which is really the digital dollar. And then they're bringing in the digital ID in different types of ways. For example, when they're talking about the digital passports, which are going to become mandatory to travel, right? And then you have this digital ID for mobile driver's licenses. Okay, so they're bringing in the system. It's just in a more subtle way than the other countries. I wonder why. It really makes you think. Anyway, Armenia's bank-backed IMID buys mobile ID system, right? Armenia's digital identity company, IMID, has announced the acquisition of Mobile ID, a digital ID service created by telecommunication operator Viva in cooperation with the government. So there it is. They have their digital ID, digital ID company. Okay, just moving along with the system, with the agenda. India pledges support for Myanmar digital ID pilot. Myanmar is pushing ahead with its digital ID system with formal partners, even as its military government faces criticism for surveillance and repression. Myanmar and India have formalized their partnership on the pilot phase of Myanmar's digital ID program with a memorandum of understanding signed in. Do I even want to try to say that word? No, I do not. All right, next one. New Zealand launches digital credential issuance platform tender. New Zealand has officially launched a request for a proposal to identify suppliers for a digital credential issuance platform that will be used by the New Zealand government digital wallet. All right, and I know that many people will even hear about all these articles and they'll be like, wait a second. These countries have a digital ID or digital ID agencies already? Yeah, they do. They do, because they're all moving towards the system. Okay, so with that being said, this is just a few of them, just a few of what I have gathered over the past few days. You know what I'm saying? But it shows you that the system is coming in, and it's actually coming in quite fast. Okay, because remember, the microchip is already out there. So the system behind it just needs to be implemented to certain levels. And even so, right now, maybe right now it could be sufficient enough. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But it is very close. Truthfully, we're probably just one chaotic event from accelerating it to the point that it is going to be at, or needs to be at rather, right? Which is the mandatory microchipping. And so we're heading to this point in time of the hour of temptation in Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. And so the word here in Revelation chapter 3, verse 10, temptation and try, when you break it down, all the way down, it goes to the word piercing. So let me just show you. And this is why it's so important to go into the Greek and go into the Hebrew so that you can gain a deeper understanding of the scriptures and what Yahweh Shemishai is saying. All right, so you see this word here, pero, it says through the idea of piercing, and then when you go to the end of it, it says to pierce. So it is a trial because it says parasmos, an experiment, attempt, trial, right? It will be a trial of one's faith. And salvation is only for the children of Israel. So this message is only unto the nation of Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and any of you that simply believe, that look like the heathen, all right? Because our people are going to come looking like the heathen as well, okay? And we will have brothers and sisters who will look like so-called white men, so-called Chinese, so-called whatever else, and they will believe. But they will be Israelites by way of their forefathers' seeds, okay? So it says in Revelation chapter 3, verse 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So the entire world is going to be affected by this because this is going to become mandatory worldwide. The word world here goes into the word oikomini, which is talking about the inhabited earth. Okay, so everybody's going to face, this with a microchip, but it's only relevant for the Israelites because only we can be saved, right? So the hour of temptation for us is when we're presented with it, because it's going to be a very chaotic time. All kinds of things are going to be happening. It's going to be the time of Jacob's trouble. We're going to be suffering from famine and pestilence and just the entire chaos of it all. And then the so-called white man, the devil, the Bible speaks of, which is goes into deceiver. He is going to say, well, This is the situation, and here, this is the microchip. You're going to need the microchip in order to do all these things. And it already shows you that all these things are going to be tied to it. Okay? And the only way to be able to overcome this is by way of Yahweh Shem Shai and having faith in Yahweh Shem Shai. It's the only way. Alright? So this hour of temptation is coming, and then why is the warning going out so frequently from Yahweh Shem Shai? Because there is a judgment for it. At the end, right after the mark of the beast prophecy occurs, World War III is going to hit its climax, the War of Armageddon, which then the missiles are going to be shot towards America. America's judgment is that it will be destroyed by thermonuclear fire. And before it is destroyed by the thermonuclear fire, while the missiles are on their way, Yahweh Shai, our Lord, is going to return and deliver the elect of the nation of Israel from the four corners of the earth, and 1/3 of the nation of Israel residing in America will be delivered, and 2/3 of our people will be destroyed, and those 2/3 will take that microchip and be destroyed, right? And so this is a judgment, man. Revelation chapter 14 and verse 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, right? And the word worship here goes into the word proskuneo, which goes in the Greek word proskuneo, which is the definition of like a master licking its own, like a dog licking its master's hand, right? Which is what you would have done when you take the microchip. You would have refused Yahweh Shem Shai, so the Lord will destroy you for that. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Shem Shai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, right? Yahweh Shai. And Yahweh Shai is going to aid in that destruction as well. Okay? And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of the beast. Right? So there's no coming back from it, man. Once you take that microchip, you're going to be done away with. The Lord is going to judge you for it. You're going to be destroyed. Okay, there's no chance for salvation. There's no taking it and then taking it out as well. Once you take the microchip, it's game over. All right, and then a part of what's going to happen to individuals who take the microchip, Revelation chapter 16 and verse 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of Yahweh Shem Shai upon the earth. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped his image. So there are going to be people that are going to be suffering greatly when they take the microchip. It's going to be like a cancer. All right, it's going to be a noisome sore, noisome and grievous sore. So there are going to be people perishing from it even before the judgment, but there are going to be people who have it and probably suffering from it and will then eat the missiles as well. Okay, it's a very severe judgment from Yahweh Shem Shai, man. This is a very heavy warning coming from the Lord. All right. So repent. With that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shem Shai, B'Shem Kodesh. Shalom.